Hey, what's going on, guys? Indie Pride here, back with Milk and Cookies Total War. Today we got a nice, quick little 1v1 replay for you. I'm playing against a Turkish kid. I'm just gonna call him Turk because his Steam name is ridiculously long and I don't know how to say it at all. But in this battle, I am rocking a pretty different setup from my standard Shogun 2 setups. I have two bows, two 200 range bows, Bow Warrior Monk and a Daikyu. And I have a pretty standard sword core, three Nodachis and a katana, and then over on my right I have two Yari Cav 19 attack and two light Cav hidden off in the trees. And looking at his setup, he's got three Shogatai, a katana Kachi, four Yari Kachi, two white Tiger Force, and four Yari Ki and an Imperial Guard Cav. So right off the start of this battle, it's pretty obvious what he's going to be doing. He's going to be rushing me straight up. He only has two White Tiger Force. Those are the cheapest gun units available. He's not really going to do much shooting me. He's just going to run right at me. And I think I have a pretty good counter to what he has. I've said it before, but the Shogatai and the Katana Kachi and pretty much the Bushido rushes are very vulnerable to missile fire because they have low armor. So we're going to press play right now. And we're going to shift over to the right side because really I do make one mistake in this battle, and that is that I decide to engage in a cavalry fight that I'm not sure I could win, but it actually ends up working out pretty well for me. Like I said, he has four Yari Ki, and they all have 15 attack. I have two Yari Cav that have 19 attack and two light Cav, so I knew that I could do a lot of damage to his cavalry. I didn't think I could win it. But I end up deciding to engage in a cavalry fight anyway. But, I mean, he's doing exactly what I thought he was going to do. He's just going to run right at me, and I'm going to set up right behind this little lake or pond here. And that's going to slow him down as he runs across, and it's going to allow my bows to absolutely shred his lines before he gets into melee. But let's look at this cav fight first. I pull back really quick, I try to feint, draw him in, and then go into that fight, send in my Yari Cav first because obviously they can tank more than light Cav can. I was planning on just flanking with the light cavalry and getting some rear charges off with that. Doesn't quite end up working out. I end up deciding to send my good Cav over to one flank and then my light Cav over to go past the cavalry fight and take out that Imperial Guard Cav because I don't want to deal with that at all. It's just annoying. But I'm going to lose that Cav fight, but we're going to shift over here because my bows are starting to get some good volleys off. I'm targeting a Shogatai and Katana Kachi because those are the most important units. And yeah, his Shogun. Well, I think I started out targeting his Yari Kachi, but quickly shift targets, and we're gonna see his Shogatai just absolutely get shredded by bow fire. My Daikyu already has 60 kills. It's gonna go up really quickly. Yeah, pretty much with every volley on Shogatai, they're gonna get about 20 or 30 kills. So that Shogatai is gonna rout before it even gets into melee. But I'm going to spear wall with my Yari Ashigaru and try to tie them down for as long as possible. And I'm just going to spread out and meet his melee rush head on with my Nodachis. One-on-one, a Shogatai is actually going to have trouble beating a Nodachi in melee just because Nodachis have Bonsai and they can outlast them. And plus my Nodachis have more attack than the Shogatai anyway. But yeah, I've already turned this attack pretty much on its head. He did a good job of spreading out, but he just wasn't able to flank me, and all his best melee units I took out with bow fire. Yeah, my Daikyu already has 124 kills, and we're barely into this melee engagement. But he is going to win that Cav fight, and his remaining Yari Ki are going to come over here and try to hit me from the rear, but it's already looking too late for them. They're so far away, and I've already done so much damage to his melee line. He's already crumbling and routing. And I'm just going to get shots off a fire arrow volley here from my Daikyu into the White Tiger Force. Do a lot of damage to that. Not that it matters. The White Tiger Force just... They're equivalent to matchlocks pretty much. They're just not effective line units. And that's why they only cost 500 Koku. But my Nodachis are now closing in the melee. His general's getting some good volleys off. It's not going to matter though. I'm just going to close it. Kill the rest of his line units. And now I'm just going to play a game of cat and mouse. His Yari Ki is coming in from behind, and I don't want my bows to die, just because I like keeping my bows alive. I mean, they're extremely expensive units, so I'm just going to pretty much run them away and try to protect them with my Naginata attendants and all the spears that I have in the back. He's getting some close range volleys off with General's Bodyguard, but I believe I catch them there with a no-dachi charge, and I think they're just going to mass route. We are going to focus on this Imperial Guard cav coming over here because they are going to get a really nice volley off from close range on one of my units in a couple seconds here. But again, this battle's over. There's really nothing he can do now. And yeah, I think if you're going to be... Oh wait, actually, let's just look at this Imperial Guard cav. I'll say what I needed to say after that. It's going to crest this hill right here and get a really nice volley off in a second. Ouch. It was a really, really good volley. But yeah, like I was saying, with bows, obviously Yari Ashigaru and Spear Wall is always good in tandem with bow core. But a lot of people say that when a melee rush is coming in, that bow, like an army with bow setup, isn't necessarily good. I disagree. Depending on the map, if an enemy is rushing you, melee rushing, and you have bows, it can be a really good thing. Because as you saw this battle, I absolutely shredded his Shogutai before they got into melee. And so you can kind of dictate the pace of the game with bows. And even though they are extremely expensive, they're often worth their cost. I mean, 117 kills with one, and 240 I think was the other. So we'll quickly go to the stat screen and look at that stuff, and I'll see you in a minute. Alright, so here we are on the stat screen. I deployed 1560, he deployed 1830, and I got about twice as many kills as he did. One thing I want to mention is that Bushido rushes for Follow Samurai are extremely effective against regular Follow Samurai armies, but against vanilla Shogun, they don't always match up all that well. Because, first off, Shogun just has such a variety of infantry, and so it makes it so that I have low cost but effective units like Yari Ashigaru and Spearwall can do damage to like a Yarikachi or a Shogutai and not cost very much. And maybe the biggest issue maybe the biggest issue for Follow Samurai is that they don't have meat shields really. They have Spear Levy, but they don't have really cheap meat shields like Naginata attendants. And so, especially for him in that battle, he didn't have any Spear Levy, so he had nothing to absorb the charges from my Nodachi. And so a Shogutai, because they have very low armor stats, is going to get absolutely destroyed by a Nodachi charge. And so, as you saw in that battle, the Shogutai that didn't get shot by my bows got really hurt by my Nodachi charges. So, a Bushido rush, really good versus Follow Samurai, maybe not so good against vanilla Shogun. But looking at the stats real quick, as you can see, this Nodachi got almost 300 kills, and my bows definitely made up for their costs. 240 and 117, and that was pretty much just in the first couple of volleys as they got all those kills. Flat terrain, obviously without a lot of hills or trees, is very, very good for 200 range bows because they will absolutely destroy units, especially low armored units. Katana with 100 kills, Nodachi with 95. About it for my side. Looking at his, he only had a Yarikachi with 129, and I believe those were all mostly on Yari Ashigaru. So his melee rush pretty much got stuffed that battle. And he wasn't a bad player. I just don't think his army setup was particularly good versus mine. But I hope you enjoyed that battle. We got more Follow Samurai and Shogun 2 replays coming. And there is actually a patch coming out very shortly, and maybe in the next battle or two I will talk about that. So, thank you for watching, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.